Hello everyone, Shane here from Shane's Premier League Review Show. This week I'm covering match week 10. Manchester United and Spurs was the first game up last Saturday. This was a really tight game. Manchester United managed to nick it 1-0. Anthony Martial scored the goal. Spurs were good as status during the game. There wasn't too much to choose between the two teams from the parts of the game I seen. To be honest, I didn't see all the game last weekend because I wasn't around, but I caught parts of it, and it looked like a pretty equal game. But United nicked it 1-0. It looked like a typical Jose Mourinho performance, just to get a result and to get the 3 points, and that's exactly what United done. So it's good for them. It got them the 3 points, and it set Spurs back a small bit as their 100% away record in the Premier League came to an end, which was unfortunate for them. However, this keeps United on tabs with Manchester City pretty much, a few points behind them all the same. But they seem to be the only team at the moment capable of trying to challenge Man City, along with maybe Spurs. They played each other last weekend, so it's difficult to say at the moment, folks, what's going to happen. But it looks like a 3-horse race. Manchester United, Spurs, and Man City in no particular order there. Obviously, United and City are in the top 2 spots. So there you go anyway. On we'll go with the review. Arsenal and Swansea. This was another tight affair. Unexpectedly so. Swansea managed to give Arsenal a scare. Sam Clucas gave them the lead. I think it might have been midway through the first half. Swansea went in 1-0 up at half time. Could have been 2-0. Tammy Abraham had a good chance in the game. However, Czech saved it. It was a great chance. Mertesacker made a bit of a mess of himself, but sure, these things happen, I suppose. Defenders were never meant to be perfect. But however, Tammy Abraham should have taken his chance, and he didn't. So therefore, the inevitable backlash from Arsenal came in the second half when Kolasinac scored the equaliser 10 minutes in, I think it was. Maybe it was 11, I don't know. Forget. And Aaron Ramsey then scored the winner, and Arsenal managed to hold on for a crucial victory. I think they've also a 100% record at home in the league, so that keeps that going for them. Fair play to them, and they're tipping along nicely at home, and to add to it, they got through to the knockout stages in the Europa League during the week there, so fair play to them, and they will now look to the game against Manchester City on Sunday with good heart and hope and all the rest of it. So now we'll move on to Crystal Palace and West Ham. My goodness me. I don't know how to describe this game really. West Ham were 2 goals up. The goals came from Chicharito Hernandez and Andre Ayew, scored an absolute cracker of a goal to give the Hammers a comfortable lead at half time. Then in the second half, early on, West Ham decided to concede a needless penalty. I think it might have been Agbano who conceded it. That made a game a bit early on in the second half, and then in the 97th minute, time added on obviously. Michael Antonio had the ball above in the corner flag. All he needed to do was keep it up there and wait for the referee to blow the thing up, as in blow for full time. And no, what did he decide to do? He decided to cross the ball into the box, and the keeper caught it down the field. Crystal Palace went, and West Ham were strolling back. They didn't seem to know what they were at. The organisation was terrible, the game management was desperate, and therefore they paid for it. The ball was played in to Wilfred Zaha, and he finished from a tight angle to earn Roy Hudson's side a point. So, that's it for that game. Don't know how West Ham drew it, but there you go. These things happen. They press the self-destruct button, and that's basically it. So, on we go now. Liverpool and Huddersfield. This was a comfortable win for Liverpool in the end. However, during the first half, it wasn't good at all. It was slow and lacklustre, and they didn't look to be going anywhere until they got a penalty just before half time for a bit of pushing and shoving in the box. You know yourself, everybody, at this stage, some are given and some are not. Mohamed Salah took the penalty, and it was missed. The game was 0-0 at half time. Other than the penalty, there was very little created in the first half. Sturridge had half a chance. And during the second half, a different Liverpool side emerged from the dressing room. Daniel Sturridge gave them the lead with a nice little dink over the keeper after a misplaced header. Roberto Firmino scored a goal for Liverpool from a corner, believe it or not. I couldn't believe it. Liverpool never score from corners, but they managed to score a goal on Saturday from a corner. I was chuffed as a Liverpool fan to see that, because I didn't think we'd score from a corner again, to be honest about it, from what I've been seeing lately. But anyway, there you go. And to round a good day off for the Reds, Gini Wijnaldum lashed one in to the in off the crossbar. It actually went to give the Reds a comfortable 3-0 victory and to get their season back on track. They also had a good win during the week against Maribor, as expected. So that's it for that game. On to Watford and Stoke. This game was very little to write home about, folks. Other than a well-worked set piece from Stoke City. The ball was played out to the edge of the box and side-footed carefully into the net. Or placed, should I say, into the net carefully by Darren Fletcher, of all people. A rare goal from him. It was enough to give the Potters the 3 points and to give the Potters fans something to smile about, as they've been going through a bit of a rocky time lately. But fair play to them, as Watford have been on a good run and have been tough to beat so far. So fair play to Stoke there. Watford need to go back to the drawing board, however, which I'm sure they will. Now, we'll move on. West Bromwich Albion and Manchester City. Manchester City played some slick stuff in the first part of this game. However, West Brom managed to rally and give them a bit of a game. The final score was 3-2. Fernandinho and Raheem Sterling were the scores for the team in Sky Blue usually when they play at home, and for West Brom, Jay Rodriguez and Matty Phillips gave the Baggies late hope, but it wasn't to be, and Man City keep their excellent run going. And as well as this, they managed to get a good victory in midweek as well in Naples. So fair play to them there. Well done to Man City. Bournemouth and Chelsea. This was another tight affair. Chelsea managed to nick it 1-0. Hazard played very well. He managed to nick a goal and basically caused trouble to the Bournemouth defence throughout. Overall, Chelsea were deserving winners, but Bournemouth could have nicked a lucky point. They had a few chances throughout, but it wasn't to be, and the Blues took the 3 points. Also, they had a bit of Chelsea had a sticky result in midweek. They lost 3-0 to Roma, I think. So they'll be looking to bounce back against United on Sunday at Stamford Bridge. Now, we'll move on. We'll go with Leicester and Everton. Everton, I don't know where to start with them, to be honest. They seem to be stuck and going nowhere, if I was to be honest. Leicester got 2 goals within the first 20 minutes or so. Jamie Vardy getting one of them, and they basically controlled the game throughout, and Everton created very little. I'd be worried for them, to be honest. I think I've spoken about my concerns before in previous shows, but oh my goodness me, they don't seem to be going anywhere, and they also got knocked out of the Europa League to add to their woes on Thursday. So it's not a good season for the Toffees so far, and hopefully they bounce back sooner rather than later, and they get a new manager quickly, as they need one, and they need to stop the rot as fast as possible, to put it mildly, as it's bad. But fair play to Leicester, as they played very well. And right, now we'll go on to Burnley and Newcastle. This was a really traditional English battle, topsy-turvy, no one given an inch, but the ball broke for Jeff Hendrick with a few minutes to go in the game. It was one of the only chances within the game for Burnley, and he duly dispatched the ball into the roof of the net to give the Clarets the 3 points and to continue their good start to the season, basically. Newcastle had a few half chances, but nothing to write home about. Maybe a draw would have been a fair result, but the Clarets nicked it. And with that, Newcastle obviously need to get back to the drawing board, as it's been an up and down season for them so far. I'm sure with Benitez there though, things will be quite steady. Mark my words. It was defeat for them last time out. Now, and I think the final game of the weekend was Brighton and Southampton. The final game I have to cover anyway, I think. I hope so at this stage. It was a 1-1 draw. Southampton took the lead with a well-worked free kick. A shot came in first, and it hit the bar, and Stephen Davis was there to knock it home to give the Saints a good lead. However, in the second half, Brighton pushed on, as I thought they might do. I think I was alluding to their good play in the preview show there last week, and so it proved. The pressure paid off, and Glenn Murray scored a good header. Both teams could have nicked the game at various stages. It was a great game of football. But a draw it was, and a steady point for both sides, shall we say. So, that's the review show for this week, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like it, subscribe, comment, do whatever you like. I don't mind. But I hope I wasn't too boring for you anyway, and I tried to entertain you as best I could and give you as much knowledge basically as I could of last week from what I could remember. Hope you enjoyed it. All the best. Take care, and we'll see you. We'll see you next week for the review show once again.